Hello and welcome to another Wizard Wants to Watch You video. Before we get started, I just want to say thanks to all my subscribers to get me to 400. Very excited about it. Glad there are people out there enjoying my content and hope that you guys continue to enjoy it. So in this video, we're going to be talking about kind of like a kind of more fun version of Tearlament you can play. I'm not the first person to talk about this, but I thought I'd want to show it off with some test hands. So you guys have probably seen from the Megatons the Revived Sky God, which lets you revive a Slifer the Sky Dragon from your graveyard, and then both players draw until they have 6 cards in their hand. You can't negate this, like, at all. It's got such a weird wording to basically say, like, your opponent has to let it go through. And, as well, it's got an effect where you can banish it, stack a Monster Reborn on top of your deck, but we're not going to be playing Monster Reborn in this. So basically, we're playing a 42-card Danger Tearlament deck, so we're going to do some test hands to see how well does this work. Because you might think, how does this even work? Well, it's all thanks to 2 very specific link monsters we can do this. Basically, the goal is through our Tearlament combo, we're hoping to mill at least one of these. One is all we need, because we used Curious, the Lightsworn Dominion, to mill the other one specifically. And then we're going to use the Nightmare Griffin in order to discard a card to set the Revived Sky God back to our field. So that's the explanation on how it works. Let's go through the test hands, see how easy it is to do. Alright, so our first starting hand, we have Slifer himself, Danger Mothman, Danger Nessie, Paralino, and Foolish Burial. So really easy to get Slifer in the grave, we just have to hit it with a Danger. So at this point, we're going to set the Foolish, set the Paralino, because we just want to get Slifer in the grave. Actually, I take Paralino, effect a search, grab Tearlaments Sheeran, because that's an even easier way than randomly discarding it. So we have the Sheeran. We go Sheeran effect, summon itself, send the Slifer, mill 3. So Instant Fusion, Revive Sky God, Nessie. So we're pretty much the way there. We just now need to get to Nightmare Griffin, which shouldn't be too hard. Because we have an Aquaman Grave, Foolish Burial is really good. We go Foolish, dumping the Tearlament Merely. We can go Merely effect, fuse itself, and the Danger Nessie into a Tearlament Kikalos. Kikalos effect, because we just need to get to Link Monsters, we don't need to get Merely specifically for the mill combo, let's go for a Rhino Heart. Next we go Kikalos effect, target itself. So we'll summon the Rhino Heart, send. We'll go Kikalos 1, Rhino 2. So Rhino will send the Sheeran. And chain 1, Kikalos will resolve, letting us mill 5. So we go Mothman, Zephyros the Elite, Paralino, Super Poly, and Tsuchinoko. Alright. A new chain, Sheeran effect fuse. Fuse it with the Kikalos. To get to a Garura. Next, we're going to go Danger Nessie effect. We go odds evens. So odds, sending the Mothman. Danger Nessie, draw 1. Which we drew another Danger Nessie. At this point, we can go Mothman effect. So we go draw 1. Discard the Happiness. Happiness effect, fuse it with the Danger Tsuchinoko into a Mud Dragon of the Swamp. At this point, we just want to get to Curious to dump Fairy Tale Snow, because we already have the cards we need in our graveyard. So we can go Mud Dragon effect, declare itself to become a dark. Then we can link the Garura, the Mud Dragon, and the Nessie into a Curious. We go Curious effect to send our Fairy Tale Snow. then we resolve our Curious mandatory effect to mill 3. So Danger Bigfoot, Danger Nessie, Super Polarization. At this point, what we can do is we can use Blackwing Zephyros the Elite, bouncing the Paralino, and take 400 damage. That way we can link 4, Nightmare Griffin, Griffin effect, discard our Danger Nessie for cost, setting the Revived Sky God to our field. Danger Nessie is discarded, so we can add a Danger from deck to hand. We'll add a Danger Jackalope for the following turn. We can then overlay into an Abyss Dweller. That way we can stop our opponent's graveyard's plays, we have Fairy Tale Snow in play, and Nightmare Griffin will also stop any monsters who are not linked from activating their effects. So overall, I think we got there. I think we did pretty good. I know we're not ending on Sprite Elf or anything cool with that. Like, we're not going to get a fusion effect, most likely, but I think we have enough to get the following turn going, especially because we have Paralino in hand, so we can just search another tier next turn. So, yeah, with 2 cards in hand, you can even set the Paralino if you want to get that extra draw off Slifer or off Revived Sky God. So, that's it for the first hand. I think we should do one more just to demonstrate to see. I mean, I know this is anecdotal for like how consistent it is because there's math you can do for that instead. And I think even like based on like starting hand and you do the Kikalos Merely Mill, that's like 13 out of 42 cards. So you're roughly hitting 50% that you hit one of them. Second test hand, we have Terraforming, Havness, Mothman, Jackalope, Merely. So this time we didn't start with either of them, so we'll go Terraforming effect, grab the Paralino. We're then gonna activate Paralino effect. Lets us grab the Sheeran, because that's gonna add an extra 3 to our mills. We're then gonna go Sheeran effect, summon itself, send the Havness, mill 3. So we go Gizmek, Sullick, and Foolish. So we will go Sullick 2, Havness 1. So Sullick will let us grab Rhinoheart, and Havness will let us fuse with the Sheeran on our field in order to summon Kikalos. Kikalos effect on summon, we're going to get to add the trap card. So we get a copy of Sullick. We can then go for a Kikalos effect targeting itself. So we'll summon the Merely, send the Kikalos. So now we get chain 1, chain 2, we get our mill 8. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we hit both the cards, so that's awesome. We hit Rhino and Sheeran. We still have our normal, we don't need to use Rhino effect, but we can use the Sheeran effect to fuse. So we'll fuse the Sheeran with our Kikalos for a Garura. We can then normal summon our Rhinoheart and go Rhinoheart effect. We've used the Havness, we've used the Sheeran, now it's Merely's turn. So we send Merely, we go Merely effect, we fuse it with, at this point, you can fuse it with the Gizmek Engrave, because we don't need the extender right now, and go into a Mud Dragon. We can link the Reinhardt and the Merely into a Sprite Elf, and then Elf effect, target the Merely to summon. Mud Dragon effect to turn it into a dark, and then we're going to link 3. This way we can get our Fairy Tale Snow in the grave, as well as its Curious +1 monster can get us into the Nightmare Griffin. So Curious effect, we're going to send Fairy Tale Snow. And then we're going to resolve the mandatory Curious effect to mill 3. So we get a Danger Nessie, and Instant Fusion. At this point, you're going to want to set the Sullic, and we're going to use Jackalope effect. So, odds evens. So we got Nod, send the Mothman, special the Jackalope, draw 1. So we draw a Happiness. We're going to keep that. We don't need to activate the Mothman effect right now. We can then link into Nightmare Griffin. Griffin effect, discard to set the Revive Sky God. So this way, we have the Griffin, making it a lot harder for your opponent to use activated effects. We're going to have the Slifer that's going to stop them from summoning things in attack position if they have less than 2,000 attack, because they'll just get destroyed. If we need to use the Sprite Elf with the Sullic, we can first banish the Nightmare Griffin with a Fairy Tale Snow. So, those are 2 test hands. We managed to get there both times. I think you'd have to test it against actual decks instead of just playing it like by yourself to really get a feel of if this is the Tearlaments build for you. But other than that, if you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.